If you're looking to become a software developer in 2022, then this video is for you. And if you're just discovering my channel, hi, my name is Shaheen. I'm a software developer with over 11 plus years of professional experience, but once upon a time, I was an aspiring software developer myself. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 7 tips for becoming a developer in 2022 and onwards. All right, so without further ado, here's tip number 1. First and foremost, you need to ask yourself, is software development the right career path for you? Now, if you're someone who is technically inclined, you're a critical thinker, you handle stress fairly well, and problem solving comes naturally to you, then you've probably chosen correctly to become a software developer. Now, on the other hand, if you're pursuing software engineering simply because it piques your interest, or what you're really after is just high-paying salaries, then I would say you should consider looking into other domains under the software engineering umbrella. You have choices such as product manager or a product owner. You could become a business analyst. You could be a quality assurance engineer or a test automation engineer. You could go into DevOps engineering, and perhaps you can even become a Scrum Master. And in my opinion, I would say all of these other career paths are less technically challenging, less stressful, but down the road, you're well on your way to making 6-figure salary. All right, so moving on to tip number 2. You can't be afraid to learn new things. This is so important to not only understand, but it's something you should embrace as a software developer. True engineers have a growth mindset, and so should you. You shouldn't fear new tools and technologies, but rather you should be excited and enjoy exploring new tech so that it can be added to your own arsenal. Appreciate the fact that you're often having to learn and you're getting paid to do so as you carry out your day-to-day tasks. This increases your value as a software developer, and it carves out a path for promotions, higher salaries, more attractive resumes, and down the line, new opportunities. All right, so going to tip number 3. The most important skill to have as a software developer is not what programming languages you know or what libraries or frameworks you've mastered. The most important skill to have as a developer is your ability to effectively and efficiently solve the problem at hand or implement a business requirement given to you regardless of the tech stack presented. It's true that having mastered a programming language or cool frameworks or libraries will definitely help in your ability to problem solve. But what's cool and favorable today may not be in 2 years' time with a rapidly changing landscape, and that's just the nature of software engineering. So hone your skills as a general problem solver and learn to ask the right questions. All complex problems can be broken down into manageable chunks, and all you have to do is ask the right questions along the way until you can get to a complete solution. Okay, so moving on to tip number 4. In order to get good at programming, regardless of the programming language, you must master the fundamentals. Thoroughly understand programming constructs, such as sequence, selection, repetition. Learn data structures and algorithms. Learn to visualize at a high level and appreciate all the layers of abstraction that's actually taking place as you're writing some application code that runs on top of some hardware. So I'm essentially saying that whatever it is that you're learning or practicing, learn it inside out, thoroughly, comprehensively. And I want to conclude this tip by saying that in order for everything to stick in the long term, you must be applying everything that you learn to an actual project that you're working in parallel. Okay, so we're up to tip number 5. You must understand cloud computing. Nearly all enterprises, 94% of them to date, use some form of cloud services. As a developer, it's a no-brainer that you should understand and be familiar with basic cloud concepts, such as infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, etc. So you should create a free account and explore popular cloud providers, such as Amazon's AWS, Microsoft's Azure, or you have GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform. Once you create an account, go ahead and explore the multitudes of services available to you and see what you can integrate with or leverage within your own projects. In this process, you should be learning how to identify the tools and services relevant to your project. You should be learning how to set up your local development environment and what your workflow would look like from invoking these services locally to deploying your project all the way to the cloud. Having experience working with these cloud providers is a huge plus, and as we move forward in time, it'll probably become mandatory when it comes to landing a good opportunity. All right, so we're up to tip number 6. Understand what is expected of you as a developer that is part of an agile development team. If you don't know what agile is, then start there and learn what is agile methodology. A quick definition of agile would be that it's an iterative approach to project management and software development that allows teams to deliver value in the form of working products and services. The complete definition or requirements for these products and services are usually not known ahead of time in an agile environment. So through iterations, teams scope out and implement a set of requirements from a product backlog. While all of this is happening, teams work closely with customers or stakeholders and get feedback and basically iterate some more on things that actually continue to add value. Having an understanding of Agile allows you to operate and align with your teams more effectively, and there's simply less guesswork from what is expected of you and how you should conduct yourself from day one in your first job as a software developer. Okay, so we're finally at tip number 7. And to wrap this up, the final tip that I want to share with you is that a developer is not someone that only develops products and services, but is someone that spends a good amount of time developing themselves. So today, you just might be an aspiring software developer, but tomorrow, you'll probably want to have the skills and the know-how of a senior developer. And that's the way it should be. Don't be just competent in programming or writing some code. Go with the outlook that one day, even if you're the only developer in a team, that you possess all the skills necessary to take an idea from conception all the way to minimal viable product and beyond. You should ultimately know how to design, architect, implement, build and deploy, and monitor and maintain the solutions that you deliver. And with that, let's conclude here. If you enjoyed this video, I'd definitely appreciate a thumbs up, and please subscribe. I'll be posting more videos related to technology and software engineering in the future. I hope to see you in the next video.